Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Luffy has managed to acquire great power after he managed to awaken his devil fruit, and it's said that this fruit is ridiculous due to the fact that its bearer possesses immense and great freedom, and this freedom allows Luffy to modify his body in any way he wishes, as long as it makes sense. By possessing the ability to alter his body in any way he wishes, this gives Luffy the ability to alter his Bloodline Factor, allowing him the power to potentially use two devil fruits. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the Bloodline Factor, or Lineage Factor, how it can prevent the user from being able to use two devil fruits, and how Luffy may manage to change his Bloodline or Lineage Factor later to get the power to have more than one devil fruit. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like, or even subscribing, and maybe a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help us out in a bigger way, consider sharing the video or the channel with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, as we know, it's currently not possible to eat two devil fruits, and many have said that there's an actual living devil, or maybe even a soul in each fruit, and that's why the fruit has its name and called a devil fruit. So when a devil fruit user eats another fruit, these two devils or souls fight amongst themselves to know who will get the body to rule. During this battle of the devils inside the user's body, it cannot make it through this internal conflict, so the user loses their life. And so far we don't really know how this works in practice, since it's never really been shown that anyone other than one particular character has managed to eat two devil fruits. But it was introduced a little while later that the Lineage Factor is one of the main things that prevents a user from being able to use two devil fruits. Its concept and the way it works is still a little unknown, but we do have some information about it. The Lineage Factor is a model for life itself. Present in all living organisms, it's connected to everything, such as humans, animals, trees, and even other life forms scattered throughout the vast world of One Piece. All life forms have the Lineage Factor, and if manipulated early on, this allows the user to have it altered, allowing the living being to acquire a power or an enhancement to its body. When this Lineage Factor is altered, it allows the living being to evolve, becoming something more than just an ordinary human or being. This Lineage Factor is related to everything that is related to superhuman techniques and body enhancements. Something also similar to the devil fruits that give powers to the user are changes to the genetic factor that Vince Judge and Germa 66 gave to Sanji and his siblings during childhood. Now, we know that they don't have devil fruits, but powers very similar to that. So we can see that this Lineage Factor is very closely and interconnected. Eating a devil fruit affects the Lineage Factor, which allows the user to gain a supernatural power, and this modification makes the user unable to eat another devil fruit. It's likely that when one eats two devil fruits, that this modifies their Lineage Factor to a point that they can no longer sustain it, and they lose their life in the process of releasing their powers. So this may be the thing that makes it impossible for someone to possess two fruits. But it's now said that Luffy possesses a power capable of modifying what he wants in his body, which may include the genetic factor. Even though Luffy possesses one devil fruit, he might be able to make his body withstand eating two devil fruits. Though his Lineage Factor is already modified, Luffy might be able to make his factor go back to the original state so that he'd be able to eat a second fruit. But if Luffy gets his Lineage Factor back to normal, it could also take away his powers, since it's because of this alteration that has allowed him to possess the incredible power of the sun god Nika. We also don't know if this change in the Lineage Factor only works when the being is small or young or during their youth, and perhaps it can only be changed then, and it might be possible that this is the reason why Luffy might be able to still change his body. Or it could even have help from experienced scientists who knew all about this Lineage Factor, like Vegapunk or Vince Judge, who have spent many years studying it to be able to create modified humans. So perhaps these two scientists could teach Luffy how he could alter his lineage and suit it so that he could alter his genetic any way he wishes, allowing Luffy to get more power out of a fruit. There may even be people who actually naturally possess the ability to have two fruits or use them in some way, but so far only Teach has been able to show that somebody has the ability to do this. Somehow he managed to steal the power of Whitebeard's body that was still maybe on the brink of death, and this way he was able to get a Logia and a Paramecia. So Blackbeard possesses a fruit capable of nullifying the side effect of using two devil fruits, or perhaps Blackbeard's Lineage Factor somehow got changed. Ace and Buggy even remarked that when they were part of Roger's crew, that Teach was different from the other children, and at no time did he ever sleep. Many might think that he was only watching to make sure that Roger's pirates didn't attack him, but during the nights that Roger's crew stayed with Whitebeard's crew, Teach never slept and he was always watching them. So it wasn't exactly the Yami Yami no Mi that made Teach a different character, but since he's been a little boy, he was like that. So there's a possibility that he is the son of a human with some unknown race. As we know, there are several other humanoid races in the world of One Piece, such as the Three-Eyed Tribe, who have a human appearance, but their eye and their forehead is what makes them different. And original members of this tribe have the ability of clairvoyance and other various powers, including reading poneglyphs. So there may be other humanoid-like races that possess a different and special characteristic that would make it possible for Teach to eat 2 fruits without suffering any consequences. But this is only one idea among several that could explain why Teach possesses this ability. During the Marineford arc, we have a small explanation on how Teach could possess this ability to absorb 2 devil fruits, but it wasn't very clear and exact because it's still a real big mystery. But this explanation may be further explored in the future. In this way, explaining it correctly on how Teach can actually steal the fruit from a body of a still living person and use it without him losing his life in the process. Marco also shed a little bit more light on this and saying that this may have been possible due to Teach's unique physiology, because he says that Teach has an atypical body structure, which makes his body totally different from other people. As we said before, this may be due to the lineage factor that causes the user to be born different from other human beings. So through this different lineage factor, Teach has managed to possess 2 devil fruits. But this still doesn't explain why his lineage factor was so different from the rest of other people, because Teach doesn't appear to have been genetically modified like Sanji and his siblings. Because of the modification of the genetic factors of Sanji and his other siblings, this is what gave them the great improvements in their body, making them superhuman. But Teach doesn't show these same advantages or changes. Teach just appears to be a human with peculiar behaviors and the ability to use more than 1 fruit, so there may be other possibilities that have occurred during his childhood. Luffy doesn't seem to have these changes in his lineage factor either, but with his fruit, this could be possible, because he may be able to change it just like Teach and Judge did with their children, but Luffy will be able to do it through his fruit. And those who have this modified lineage factor are easily detectable by those close to them, because they notice that this person has some strange characteristics. Marco even says that they knew something was different about Teach because he was strange and different from the other crew members. There was something different or wrong about his body that they just couldn't understand, because just by observing Teach, he seemed like he was a normal person. But when one observed his attitudes and his actions, you could see that he seemed to be like different people. Even Luffy and Zoro could see that this strange person the first time they met him, because Luffy calls Teach they, which means that there may be more than one person inside Teach's body, or Luffy could be referring to something else. Perhaps Teach was hiding his crew members in his darkness or somewhere else, and then for that reason, Luffy and Zoro called him them. However, we still have no confirmation on this theory, so it may only just be a kind of long shot possibility. And it is still very difficult to know what this lineage factor is, because it's not been fully explained. We only know about the basic concept of this system, and it's connected to everyone. The only one who could give us the answer is Vegapunk, who has spent most of his life studying it. In fact, Vegapunk seems to be the world authority and has great knowledge in this manner, because he's even managed to create devil fruits based on the lineage factor. And this way, he created zone fruits capable of giving the person who eat him that power. But again, the one fruit that we saw him make was Momo's, and he still said that it was imperfect. And then when we saw the technology taken further by Caesar, we saw that the probability of those powers passing on to the eater was very low, perhaps even just 10%. And those who weren't compatible just went the rest of their days smiling and laughing, losing every other emotion. So it seems that Vegapunk has abandoned his research for now and went on to other experiments to better understand the lineage factor until he was able to fully understand and implement how this concept worked. Very soon, we also hope that Luffy will get a chance to meet Vegapunk, since he has now become the leader of the SSG, one of the 3 forces that rule the world of One Piece. And so he'll get a chance to meet him at some point, or maybe have to defeat him and his scientists who are creating pacifistas and other combat tools to take the lives of pirates. So in the future, there may be this meeting in which Luffy can ask about how the devil fruits are able to alter a person's genetics, giving them these great powers. And logically, during this explanation, he would also learn how the Lineage Factor works best, how Teach managed to get the power of 2 fruits through his Lineage Factor, and how Luffy may be able to replicate the ability to eat another fruit. This would allow Luffy to possess the fruit of the sun god Nika, and another fruit that could give him interesting powers, making him as strong as Teach. And this way, Luffy would get a variety of techniques that he could combine to be able to face his enemies. But for now, we'd love to know what you think about it. Do you think that Luffy will get the ability to use another fruit, or do you think we still have more to unlock within this fruit of the sun god Nika? Also, what do you think it is about Blackbeard that gives him that extra ability to eat a devil fruit? Do you think there's another person in his body, or maybe he had a mythological Zoan that's now allowed him to have more than one heart or soul? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. So friends, as we bring things to a close, I want to thank you so much for watching the video all the way up to the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like or maybe hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.